Hey guys. Hey, can you hear me? All of you, can you hear me? Please write if the sound is okay right now, so we can start. Could you tell me on the chat if you can hear me? If everything is okay? Jacob and Eric, great. Eric from United States and Jacob from Belgium and Karsten from Denmark. Great. Sounds nice. Perfect. Well, today we are talking about something very important, and it's basically about the family. When we want to work with serious disease and we want to reverse it, and we don't want to use, or we know how conventional therapy works with brain tumors, we want to work with the environment. We want to work with metabolic therapies. And when we do that, there's no shortcuts, basically. There's no magic pills. And we know that, I guess. And that's why we really need help. We really need help. And I'm providing you guys with the help, with daily help. But we need to, with education instead of medication, with daily nudging, with adjusting the implementation, and different kind of questions every day. We are working basically every day. I'm going to talk about that a little bit later in this webinar. But basically what we really need to really go through all the hard parts in the initial, in the start of our work with metabolic approaches, that's the help from the family. And I guess all of you, I hope all of you saw the last webinar with where my client that we just were. So it was a great process. We reversed the glioblastoma, and he made an interview. If you did not watch it, please connect and watch. Just a second, guys. I'm gonna try to look at the old webinar and see if everybody is there and waiting for me. Just a second. No, wasn't there. Okay. Hi, Sharik. Hello. Okay. So I really hope you managed to look the last webinar, because it was a great one. It was a really great one. It was very smooth, and I think it was inspiring. And I heard a lot of good feedback about that. But today we are talking about very crucial. I see that we have a question already, and maybe I'll start answering the question before we're gonna go further and get some inspiration from the wife to my client, because that's the family. Today we're going to talk about how the family can help. Okay? Very crucial. We cannot do it. Really, it's very hard to do it alone. You need a team. And having me in a team between you and me, it's also great. It's also great because we really have cooperation in our boot camp, because there's some other families and we meet each other every day. We have a closed Facebook group. It's working very good. But you need to have somebody home with you to help you to implement, to not fall off the wagon. That's where the most, that's how you can really optimize the process. So let me start answering the question. Jacob, that is actually joining our boot camp together with his wife, with the glioblastoma, with a brain tumor. We're going to work. I'm looking so much forward, guys, to welcome you on board. And we're going to work from tomorrow. You're going to get some material tomorrow morning already in your time zone. It's 5 o'clock in your time zone. Okay, so the question, we get so many messages from father, mother, friends, all saying, please stop with this nonsense. It's not going to work. Even after explaining and showing them your material, they just don't want to listen. It seems like they have decided that it's not going to work and they don't want to hear anything else. I, partner of Karen, even got threatened with violence by a family member who got so angry. How to deal with that resistance? It's very hard to bear, especially at a time of changing the diet. Well, basically, Jacob, I understand that is very, very hard. But there's many different aspects of this. The first one, you have to understand why they are doing this. They are doing this because they care about Karen, but this is a kind of it's a crazy way of caring, getting angry, right? But that because they are in fear. They fear, okay? Because cancer is feared, and people fear not complying with conventional way of doing things. So because we are kind of enthralled, well, I don't know the right word, we it's like hypnotized in a way by the medical profession. Very often when we are in trouble, we just believe everything, and it's a great thing, basically, because they are there to help us. And they are very, very good. They are very, very good at treating acute diseases, helping us survive when something happens, some disaster happens. You know, we break a leg, or we are in we got in a car crash. We can actually survive. All the doctors, they are doing fantastic job. They are, wow, fantastic. They're doing the best. But the problem is that the way that we are dealing with chronic diseases, with cancer, with diseases of lifestyle, is not really. They are trying to kill just to kill the messenger, which is not really smart. And they are trying to work with those diseases like if they were an acute diseases. And we know that it's a fallacy, but the people don't know. That's why you have to understand. They don't have this knowledge, and they are not listening. You are trying to explain, showing the material, but when people are closed, they are in the fear. They are not analyze. They cannot really analyze. They cannot really digest. They ingest, but they not digest what are you saying, okay? And they are not listening. And in these situations, you have to focus. It's the only possibility. I'm going to tell you about a very interesting thing, how to handling, because I've been working a lot with these approaches, and I have to be able to handle toxicity in social media. And I was very, very inspired by a story about the car driver. His name was Andretti, and he made an interview to the magazine. It's called Success, to the Success magazine. He was asked for his number one tip for success in race car driving, and he said, Don't look at the wall. Your car goes where your eyes go. So you see, when young drivers are starting to race, this is one of the most critical lessons that they learn. When you are driving at 200 miles per hour, you need to focus on the road in front of you. If you look at the wall there or there, then you will end up hitting the wall, hitting it. The same could be said for your life, for your work, and dealing with critics, and dealing with toxicity. You see, and negativity. Criticism and negativity from other people is like a wall. And if you focus on it, then you'll run right into it. If you try to communicate, to explain everything, and not being listened to, you'll get blocked by negative emotions, anger, and also self-doubt. You start doing, oh, am I on the right path? Maybe I'm doing something right. No. Your mind will go where your attention is focused. Remember, when you're driving 2,000 miles per hour, you need to focus on the road in front of you. If you look at the wall there or there to the building, you're gonna end up hitting it. Absolutely the same. Okay? Your mind will go where your attention is focused. So you have to listen to it, or you listen to it. You have to be not non-responsive, but how do you call it? Non-reactive. Non-reactive. And that's why we are dealing. I'm going to teach you from day one something called one-pointed attention. That's how to have focus in your own body. You are listening to the person, but you sense your belly. Now, if you're doing this, you're going to do it. Okay. You're listening to the person, but you are sensing your body. You can see that there's a lot of negativity. You can see that the person is not listening, criticizing without understanding. Okay? But you see, if you don't do this, your mind will gonna go where your attention is focused. Then if you don't have attention on your senses, on your belly, then your attention will go to plan the reaction. You don't need to plan the reaction. Okay? So that's what the first and foremost, the strongest technique. Criticism and negativity don't prevent you from reaching the finish line, but they can certainly distract you from doing it, okay? However, if you focus on the road in front of you and moving forward, then you can safely speed past the walls and barriers that are nearby, okay? That's the preferred approach to criticism. When somebody dishes out a negative comment, use that as a signal to recommit to your work and refocus on the road ahead of you. Okay? Some people are determined to take things personally and tear down the work of others. Your life is too short to worry about pleasing those people. Focus on the road, not to the wall. So, yeah. So that's basically what I think. And I like a very nice, well, we know this. It was a quote. The ultimate ignorance is the rejection of something you know nothing about, yet refuse to investigate. So I'm not calling anybody names, but you have to remember that this ignorance, that's a problem. And the ignorance is caused by fear. When people are not investigating, it's because of fear is stopping them. Okay? So you can, you can basically also apologize to this kind of people. Okay? And say, oh, I'm sorry I under-delivered to you, or maybe I'm so sorry I cannot explain it. I'm so sorry. Don't go to clinch with those people. Connect to your belly. Guys, this is the thing. Connect to your belly. And it's what I call one-pointed attention. It's very, very crucial. Okay? Karsten, my partner, he said to me, just, he saw that the question, and he got some ideas. You see, he's saying, so who is to decide what is right for the individual? Father? No. Mother? No. Friends? No. Family? No. Oneself. Yes. Focus on the road. Nobody knows your road. You know your road. Nobody else. And you cannot communicate with people in fear, with people that are, excuse my French, ignorant. Okay. Another one, if anybody gets drawn away by anger and condemnations, ask this one question. Do we get angry out of calmly analyzing the options available? Or do we get angry out of fear? Which, by the way, is lack of analysis. And that's exactly what I've been talking about also, right? And number 3 that Carsten wrote, he said, insist on this. If family or any other involved treat what the two of you decide with disrespect and anger, then they better step aside. But, well, that's a good one, but you cannot let them step aside because they don't want to step aside. They like bulls. They go through and they want to hit you by their anger, by their, So you need to be in your hara, in your one point. You need to be it's actually Aikido. That's the martial art of using the energy of the offender. You have to use the energy of the offender and let them fall. But how do you do that? You step aside and let them go through you, but not hitting you. Okay? And it requires being there. It requires being there. That's actually martial arts technique. But what they're doing is from samurai. That's from samurai legacy. You have to be able to continuously sense your gut, sense your belly. Okay? Yeah. And if they want to question your family, anything open-hearted and analytical, then it's okay. Then it's all welcome. But they would not do it. If they are toxic, they will not do it. It's your decision to step aside. It's your decision to focus on the road and not on the walls. Your family being the walls. Your family has to be supportive. But my dear Karen and Jacob, if they are not, you have to be strong. You have to be strong. Don't use your energy on this kind of communication. Just use your energy on watching the road and helping each other, caressing each other, loving each other, connecting with each other so much as possible. Okay? And the 4th thing that Carsten wrote, for your own interest, do not get angry or sorry by this. The relatives are fearful. That's exactly what we talked about. Thank you, Carsten. You don't have to be. Understand their fear. Treat their fear with understanding and love, if you might. Okay? Thank you, Carsten. Thank you, Carsten, my dear partner. So we're done answering. Okay? Good. And Carsten, please, if you want to, we can, I think actually we can invite, yeah, I never tried it. I can invite you on screen. Yeah, you can talk, you can tell something about this if you want. Just tell me, just right here in the, if anybody, guys, if you want to ask me or to share the screen to tell something, please do. I will invite you on screen, but write it here in the, or for example, Jacob, if you want to ask something directly on screen and inspire other people, please do that. Or Eric, or, do you want it yet, Jacob? Okay, good. If you want it, just write to me. Please share screen. Okay? Please share screen. Good. Okay, guys. What I want to say that Yes, it's crucial to have support. But look, like Jacob, you have that support. That is fantastic. This team is fantastic. You two guys, I met you online, and you are joining our family boot camp tomorrow. Okay, and this is going to be great. You are a team, and to go together with me, we have a triangle. That's the, you know what the triangle is? That's the most stable geometrical figure. That's the triangle. Okay, that's the most stable figure because it has a very, very strong foundation, and the balance is fantastic because stability is fantastic because the top is not big. So that's the triangle. And the cooperation in triangle is the strongest one. That's why, as a jazz musician, I love jazz trios, piano trios with piano, double bass, and drums. So we have harmony, we have melody, and we have rhythm. All of those three things are very, very crucial. So we're going to work together, and we have already a very, very strong team. So focus on the road and train your stability. When people get toxic to you, tell to yourself, first thing, connect to your belly. And that's what I'm talking about, belly. That's this place. That's this place here. Okay. That's your navel. That's a little bit, this part is called Hara point. Hara point. That's the point of one pointed attention. Okay, so do that. Connect, and then let them talk, but don't be angry. That's exactly what's called dantian. Dantian, yes, exactly. In Chinese, it's called hara in Japanese. Exactly the same. Okay? Very, very good. That's what we are training during these 6 months, basically, to have a stability. Because you see, mental stability to make this, to beat glioblastoma. While we are not beating, we are actually trying to understand the message. But it sounds good. Beat GBM, beat DIPG. That's what the boot camp is called. It's a marketing effort. Yeah. So we need to be stable. And that's how you can train. When people are toxic, when people are like that, you basically, you enter in the training regimen right away. And that's great. You can tell them inside of you. You can tell inside for yourself without words. You can tell, thank you. Thank you for this. You're giving me sparring, which makes me stronger. Thank you. To the people, that's Aikido. So you're using their energy to get stronger, to survive. Okay? But in order to do that, you have to be immune. Don't ingest it. Okay? Don't ingest it. You can digest it and you can make it go through the system or just go through, but don't ingest it. Don't let it be ingested. And when it's ingested, you get yourself angry, or you get depressed, or you get unsure. Okay? You get unstable. Don't let them make you unstable. Let pass through and say thank you. Every time you connect to your belly, you sense your belly, you listen, and you say thank you. That's love, and that's intelligent, because don't use your energy on this. And now I want to let the my client with glioblastoma talk a little bit, and then his wife will talk. Okay, and what they're gonna talk about. The first thing I asked my client, Gert Inge, he's a Swedish guy living in Copenhagen, and he's one of the best, world best violin players. Okay, and he's working in in the best orchestra in Denmark, classical orchestra, Kongelig Kapel. So I asked him, how did your family help you? Was it a team or were you alone? Well, that was a stupid question because I knew that he was not alone. But well, I need to ask something. And now listen to his answer. So, how did your family help you? How was it a team you worked, or did you work alone?
Absolutely. I had a fantastic team. My wife, she's fantastic, and it's not impossible to do it on your own. But it is an extremely big help to have an understandable partner who gives you power, who do all the things around you, so you don't have to think about the daily problems. We have a child, a boy, 10 years old. Lotte took care about everything of that, so I didn't have to think about anything. I have really big respect for people who can do this work on your own. I have friends who have done it. I have really big respect for these people because it has to be so tough. Lotte is fantastic. She has been reading so much about these things, what you can do. She has been cooking for me. She has forced me to take my walks. She came with this really terrible bottle things I had to breathe through. And always been very positive, which are very, very strong. I mean, if your partner sits there day after day, oh, it's terrible, I'm so sick. I have seen that sometimes, people, and I don't think that's a good thing. Partner need to. And then we have fantastic children, and they have been around as well. Older children, adult children, which are also been very great. And neighbors, fantastic neighbors has been helping. I mean, so many friends who have been helping in this situation, and it's worth so much. It makes it much more easier. So yeah, you can do it on your own, but it's not easy. And in my situation, I've been extremely lucky to be surrounded with.
Okay, guys, that was the starting comment that it's not possible to do it on your own. Well, it's sure possible if you have really can empower yourself and you have a strong power of will. But in the daily situation, we need to do so many different things that basically that's why on our boot camp, there's a family working together, family doing the same things, family training together. This is fantastic to see. So yes, children, neighbors, friends could make it easier. So yeah, maybe, sometimes when the family is not working really well, you, for example, Jacob and Karen, you are working together, you are a family. But if the rest of the family is toxic, so try to cooperate with some friends that are open and let them in to bring you more good energy. Find people, okay? Okay, be very, very cautious about who you are cooperating with. People have to go all in, and they have to be very good, very, very good friends, basically. Very, very good friends. Okay. Okay. Let me try to find a second here with Karen starting to talk. And the next one, I want to ask Karen, how was it being a wife? How was it? How was it um, having to tackle all the daily problems, all these the hard situations, and everything? Here is what she's saying. How was it?
It was terrifying in the beginning, and it was a nightmare, totally. But I really tried not to show my fear, because I could feel that if I showed too much fear, then Gideon would be weak, and I knew that he needed so much power to come through this. And I was also very insecure when I called you, Misha, because it was like, as you said, a lot of people said, "Oh, you should start to be a vegan and eat only vegetables, or you should try to do this and this." And then I had Anders. We had Anders and Astrid who suggested you, because you actually was a person who knew a lot about this disease, and that felt as a solution, because all the other ideas there were no examples which shows that it would help. So I called you one evening where I was very afraid. You had just been operated, and we knew that it was glioblastoma. And I actually, you were a little bit angry. You were very angry in the beginning, very angry at the world, very angry at your disease, and very also very depressed. So I felt that I had to take the decision in a way. I had to handle to do something, because you were not able to do. I called you, and you said that I think your husband have a chance if he does as I say, as I want him to do. And I told you, Misha comes tomorrow, and you said, "Oh no," and you were so bad. But after you had been here in this room, I felt the energy in you, because suddenly there came a person and said, "You can be old, and it will be fine, and you will work very hard." But it was not. It was such a big different from the doctors. All the doctors, every time we went to a doctor, we were totally freaked out after, and we had to take nerve medicine and sleeping pills, because we couldn't. We had so much fear, and the doctors, they couldn't. It was really depressing. So I think from that on, it was not like it was totally fine, and it has been very hard, and that there has been many frustrating situation where you also have been very angry still, and I really have to push you and said, continue. Sometimes I've been manipulating you. I said, I don't want to do this if you're not walking. I don't want to. As I have like a little child, I said, you have to take your bottle, otherwise we. And so as sometimes I've been a little bit. I've been strong, but I think I had to be strong. And you have been angry at me sometimes. Also, when I said, "Oh, you have to eat this," and "Oh, I can't." But I think it changed more and more to the positive side. And now I have nothing to do with your food. You eat it, you make it yourself, and you're not feeling sorrow for yourself. You actually sometimes you said, I like to eat this way, and you have been so happy about your weight. Before you were always complaining about your weight, and I can't, I hate to buy clothes, and now you actually now you can buy clothes in all shops, and so
So how was it possible to actually accommodate your everyday's life to the, like before, I know that getting, you were always. Okay, let's, yeah, the doctors are very depressing. Oh my God. Look, this, so you see, there's many dirty tricks you need to do as a family member when another person, in order to, and you have to be aware about that. It may look as a dirty tricks, but you need them. You need them. You have to always remember this. Look at the road. Don't look at the walls. And the walls could be also negativity sometimes from your loved one that has a brain tumor, that has some kind of cancer. You have to be strong. You have to be able to tackle that. So not showing fear, showing being stable. And that's basically why our boot camp is also for family members. I want everybody to look at that in the family. And the people ask me, please send to this address, this address, this address, this address. I'm sending the same course to 4 addresses. If people want to train, I'm giving them access. I'm giving them their own sheets. I want good results. I want them to get good health, all of them. And I don't take extra money for that, for sending to several people in the family. They have it for the same price. I want you to succeed. I want you to succeed. And I know how hard it is because I've been through all of these with one-to-one people for the last 7 years, working one-to-one. Now it's very, very hard. And I'm working very, very hard. And I'm doing the same thing with those people. And now I just said, okay, we're doing a boot camp. We're working together. We can help more people. It will be much cheaper for them. And my energy will be used in a better way. But you see, so we are also educating family members in not showing fear, not showing insecurity, and asking the questions instead of, okay? Instead of insecurity and instead of, okay? Because people have many different ideas. Yeah, I heard that you can, meat kills. I heard that vegetable helps. And people have their own ideas. They don't know what they're talking about. Still, they have their own ideas and they want to discuss them. Please, look at the road ahead of you. I'm going to teach you what to do, and you're going to do this. I'm going to teach you exactly the same thing that I taught Getting. They taught Anders, his colleague with reverse leukemia. I'm going to teach you the same thing with another case of glioblastoma that we won firstly, and then I also learned a lot what we don't want to do, and I want to teach you what to do after the remission, what we are in the maintenance. All of those things I'm going to teach you, to not let the secondary cancers come. This stability, all of those parts, I know how to do it. And we have other cancers, and we have other diseases that we handled, we endured through hard processes. I know how to do it. And the family members have to be not showing fear and has to learn, okay? So, and sometimes you need to manipulate, yeah, in hard situations, like a child, because your loved one sometimes are in fear. And you have to be very caring. You have to be understanding. You have to be strong. You have to manage anger, okay? Because people feel sorry for themselves. And it takes time before they start getting really better. And sometimes it takes a couple of weeks. So people feel sometimes it takes a month, okay? Sometimes it takes 1.5 months. But very often people start feeling the first results already after 2 weeks. Good results, diminishing inflammation, okay? So, yeah, and again, the doctors here, they not very often they really help by giving a better vibe, a better mental strength, because they don't know how and they don't have time. That's the biggest problem we have. Okay, guys. Now remember, all of you, we have I have a possibility to ask a question. You see, you have a button called Ask a Question. Please use it like Jacob used it before. Okay? So, ask a question, and it's going to be possible afterwards to time. It will be time tagged. So all of you guys, you will be able to, if we have 4 or 5 questions, I will answer them all. But please write the questions in, push the button, write the question, and I'm gonna answer all the questions today, all of your questions. That's why I'm doing a live webinar. Remember, I will always keep on doing live webinars because I want interaction. I don't believe in automated webinars because we are working with some serious stuff. And I want you guys to understand that the way I'm with you right now, I'm going to be every single day. Okay? From Monday to Friday for 6 months or longer. Now people are asking me to make it last more than 6 months. Everybody that wants more than 6 months will stay 6 months, and I will help you. But you have to be inquisitive. You have to ask questions. That's the way we are working. I'm going to send you material. I'm going to inspire you, but you have to ask questions because it's not enough to digest. You also have to ingest. You have to put it in, and you have to sometimes not understand things and ask me questions, because there is no stupid questions, please. Sometimes they're stupid. If you ask 20 times the same thing, I will be there for you. Maybe I will answer your questions a little bit faster the 20th time, but basically I want you to be inquisitive, because inquisitiveness heals. That's how you understand. Not many different things, but one thing in depth. That's also how we teach. I love playing piano also. That's how people learn piano in the best way. Not 10 different melodies for but one melody 10 times. One piece 10 times. It's much better than 10 melodies one times. So we're going to get in depth and learn a lot of different things, how to learn. Okay, so that's the process of learning. Please be inquisitive, ask questions. Okay, good. The next thing we are talking about, that's basically, that's also a little bit how to tackle the food. That's the first thing, because some of us, we love being in the kitchen, and we are yeah. There's 2 questions. I'm gonna answer them, but how to tackle this? Let's try to hear what Gert Inge is telling about this. Yeah, let's do it.
It was, how is it when you lose a good friend? Very sorry. Sad. It was very sad, I have to say, because I loved cooking. I love cooking. I love to cook. But suddenly to realize you can't cook as you used to do. Yeah, it was difficult. But again, this dragging in the brain, well, nothing to do about it. That's it. I used to like to drink beer. Yes, I haven't tasted beer now for 6 months. I drink a little bit of wine. I do. I have to be honest. But before I never thought about it. I mean, you just lived. cooked, you open the bottle and then sat there. And now you can't do the same. But the interest is starting to grow because you realize there are so many things you can cook. Many things you can cook.
We have
And,
found many recipes
yeah,
also.
so it's not so. It's not. No. Let's say I'm not so negative about it. I mean, sad about it. What to say. Yeah, I have to mention one thing. About what was so good with this system, what was the best in the beginning was when Misha told me to do all this exercising and write it down in the computer and take your blood test every morning and blah blah blah. You got something to do, and it felt good because you felt you did something which was going to bring something good with you. So instead to just wake up and sit in a sofa and looking into the wall, you was doing things. And I couldn't understand why shall I sit here on the computer the first days to write it up, but I could feel very after just 3-4 days. Yeah, this takes wakes up, go up 5 o'clock in the morning, there on the computer. They're working, blah blah. It gave you some kind of distraction from this serious disease and feeling you did something, which was bringing you to something good. So that is a very good system to work with. It's a very good system instead of just being blind.
So basically, you can also visualize when you get the graphs. When the graphs started building up, you remember the first day, and we saw the first graphs that were normalizing. It has a very nice
and let's
function, right?
Inspire yourself to continue. So, yeah.
So how does it feel when you've been at about 10 or 12 CP in the start control paths, and now you are at 60? Did you believe that it's possible?
No. I thought, maybe all other people, but not me. But even for old smokers. No, I couldn't believe it.
I also showed you the graphs of Anders that he was out there. He was at 60,
that was
90.
That was so depressing to see Anders' figure. I thought, oh God, I would never, ever be. And still, Anders' figure is still way up. But I'm reaching him. I'm going to hit him one day. But that was when you were down there in 20 and he was up in 80. But yes, you can.
But how does it feel that you basically know that I told you for half a year ago that that's where we want to reach, and that 60, 90, that's what Professor Buteyko said already for 60 years ago, cancer cannot survive, and you are there now.
That feels fantastic. It feels fantastic. And I mean, it can't come back. And then I think sometimes, God forbid it, but if it will come back, then you have this feeling I couldn't do anything more. But it will not be back. It will not be back. That's the thing. So, it feels good. Fantastic.
So, Lotte, how was the support on what we are doing? Could we work together in a team? Just tell me some of your
how it was
experience,
in the beginning.
how it was in the beginning and afterwards, also working in
the
a team.
We were
three.
Yeah, in the beginning we were a team because everything was so new, and of course we have been a team. But I have just not been. When you met the last month, I haven't been there because in the beginning, I felt it was very important. I was there. I had to write all the information. There was so much information.
Yeah, because I couldn't understand it all.
You were in shock. I was in shock too, but you were more in shock, and I had to know everything, because also we talked about it all the time and still sometimes we have to learn not to talk too much about it, because our life should not only be about the disease. But I think that's very natural. That's such a serious disease, takes so much mental time. But in the beginning, it was like 24 12 hours a day. But also it was in a positive way, because when you do something, you feel you are starting something that will heal you. It's positive to talk about it, and it's positive also when you're together with friends. And actually, we have inspired some people.
My brother.
Your brother, he has diabetes, and we have some friends who have Alzheimer in their family, and we told them that it might be as a way not to get the disease, because it's very genetic. But why they invented your diet is because they saw you, and that's the most inspiration thing. They saw that you were looking good and you were strong and you have been able to bicycle 700 kilometers. That's a very big inspiration, I think. At the same time, after have had so strong radiation and chemo, and being able to do that.
Okay, guys, let me just have some comments on this one. So you see, he told about the dragon in the brain helped. And this is a good dragon, because in the start, it's an awful dragon. It's a dragon that kills. But the more you comply, the more you do things right, this dragon turns over to be a very nice dragon. It's basically a dragon that is sitting in your head and saying, you have to do this, you have to do this, you have to do this. So the dragon in the brain, it's a positive one. And the dragon just reminds you it's a reminder, reminds you that you have an enemy that you have to be present with, like when you are in the battle, or you are in the practicing like martial arts, or you're a samurai. You have to be present in order not to be killed. You don't necessarily have to kill this proponent or opponent, or a messenger, we call it. But you have to be present, and the dragon helps you to comply. The dragon helps you to be alert. Okay, so it's a good dragon. And his wife, as you heard, also was kind of a dragon, also a very nice dragon that was also helping, not showing fear, not being angry, but pushing a little bit, sometimes manipulating also, but always managing also anger. And it helped to have all the things changing slowly to the positive side. Okay, and being busy helps. Taking responsibility helps also very much. So when we are having, all of us, we need to write in the sheets, in the log sheets, the measurements every single day. We have to, and let me answer the question right now. Kathy's question: Do you have clients do blood work? Exactly, Kathy. They have to do blood work. So we have some parameters that we are measuring just right from the start, and that's are some crucial one. They're inflammation markers. We have 4 inflammation markers, and when people go into the start with the first day, I'll give you all the things that you have to measure. We have to have a lipid panel, inflammation markers, D vitamin, some other things. And then we also do blood work every day. We do measure blood glucose every day. In the start, the first couple of weeks, we measure urine ketones. Then we start measuring blood ketones also in a couple of weeks. But from the start, yes, we're measuring blood glucose. That's the thing we're measuring. Then we start measuring the control pause, Buteyko technique. We start measuring the sleep. And it's we do a lot of sleep hacking, because that's where we start our restitution. We start having actually health add up from day yesterday to day today and today tomorrow. That's how we sleep, because sleep is it's like a connective tissue. It's a connection that lets us to take our good health a little development in health, positive development with us to the next day. Or if we don't do sleep hacking, if we don't optimize sleep, we miss it and we start from the scratch again. And that's every day starts working from the scratch, and then sleep eliminates everything, all the positive sides. And that's not really smart. And that's what we want to avoid. That's why we do blood work. Yeah, we do a lot of different measurements. And then what he said, as you saw, as you heard, it helps very much to taking responsibility and to see the sheets, and then the graphs. We actually very smart sheets, because they are analyzed automatically, and then you can start seeing after 2 weeks you can see the process of healing, and then we visualize your healing. It helps very much and inspires very much. So it gives you a very good feedback to continue working. Okay. So exactly, and so that's blood work. And another thing, he said that I asked him about CP, that's a control pause. That's what we basically say, that in the Buteyko world, Professor Buteyko found out already for 65 years ago that cancer cannot survive with a control pause of 60 seconds. And what I see in also in glioblastoma, that's exactly right. 60 for control pause, 90 for maximum pause. That's exactly what Gert Inge, that you saw talking today, he had a little bit less, 56, 86. But it's what happens with cancer. And I see it every single time. When we reach 55, 60 in control pause, the cancer is reversed. This is fantastic. So, and it was very hard for him to believe when he started in this 6 month process, 7 month process, when the CP below 10, actually about 8, 10, it was very hard to believe that he will reach 60. And it was depressing to see his friend and another client with leukemia that we reversed. I helped him reverse leukemia. The leukemia is much harder to reverse because it takes much longer time than glioblastoma. So we think it's not the same kind of fast killer than glioblastoma can be if you don't do this, what we are doing. But if we do, it's not going to kill you. But leukemia is harder. And he saw that honors, actually, he reached 120 seconds in control pause. And this is very, very hard work. And 3 minutes in maximum pause. That's crazy. And it was depressing for him to see. And he could not believe that he will ever reach these heights. But he did. And now they have a competition. And that's another thing. We can, especially when I'm working with kids, families that have brain tumors, I say, you have to make competitions. You have to play. You have to see how can you endure with this, for example, with closed mouth, or how many seconds you can do this exercise, or you can run, or you can do some kind of task, or you can swim underwater, or different kind of things, or you can jog or whatever. And I'm for children, I give many different, for families of the children, for the parents, I give very different possibilities. I teach them how to play with children in order to reverse brain tumors. That's why we have 2 different boot camps every day. I'm working in parallel. We have a boot camp for the adults and boot camp for the children because they have a little bit different challenges. Okay, and then I asked Lotte how was the team, and she said from the start we needed to have that team very much, and she had to handle information because he was not able really to understand everything, and they also had to learn to not talk too much about the disease all the time. It's also kind of a family has to understand and to lead in this connection, to also do something, to leisure activities, and to not talk only about disease. But afterwards, the team was easier for her. She was not really so much a member of a team, because when he learned everything and he started getting better, he got better energy, he started going to the gym, working with kettlebells. I showed him how to work with kettlebells, and I'm going to show you guys also how to work with kettlebells, not for repetitions, but for health, with breathing exercise, how to connect, working on the elliptical trainer, on a cross trainer, not just for results, but for breathing, for oxygenations of the cell, for mitochondrial respiration. That's a totally different concept of doing fitness work. Okay, so and then Karsten is asking the question, there's another side to teaming up. When the patient has to change lifestyle, can he or she do it on her own? I really don't think so. And that's right. That's right. It's very hard. It will be very, very hard to do it alone. It's much easier. That's why all the families in our boot camp, both for the adults with brain tumors and the children with brain tumors, they all team up. They all team up, and they change the lifestyle together. Everything. I mean, how they eat, how they exercise, also how they drink water, how they when they get up in the morning, and when they get up to sleep, when they eat together, because you really need to. So there's a lot of different things we need to change. Yes, and then I want to also, that was a very good question. I asked them, how is it to be able to basically plan for the future again? And that's what, listen, what the answer.
So what did you ask about?
No, that's great. It's great. I'm just, so how is it to be able to plan for the future again, together?
Together to plan. I think we have started to plan future again. Actually,
yes, right.
Actually, from the beginning, I thought also it's important that we have to talk about future, because it can be hard when you have been to the doctors and you can actually always go home and enjoy your boy once said, and go home and drink some red wine. Or actually, we had a doctor in the hospital, the one who took the tumor out. I said to her, we must be able, we can do something. We can take out the sugar, because I've read about that sugar is very bad for cancer. Sugar is the brain's fuel. Yeah, it's white sugar. Yeah. So, but I think now we have.
I'm not going to die, so we have a future. So yeah. So yeah, we're planning. Not many more children, but we are planning.
Very nice.
So yeah.
So, and yeah, it was perfect. It's just one take, and everything was perfect. It's just because it's test. Yeah, it was one take. It's like in the studio, when you're doing a recording. Just one day. I just want them to talk from the heart, and you see the this is kind of a crazy. the doctor asked, because they asked the doctor also, can we possibly do something for ourselves? There's nothing to do. You just have to get chemo, radiation, and the surgery is done. There's nothing you can do. Just enjoy your life. And then the question, the doctor said, you're gonna, yes, you're gonna die from this. That's the doctor's ask. The answer was, what is the, how we can plan the life? They say, well, you're gonna die from glioblastoma, they said. And this is, I think it's a wrong answer. I think it's a wrong answer. I know it's a wrong answer when the people take responsibility for their health and they have a plan and they do 100% compliance. And that's exactly what we're doing here. No. Depending where they are in the window of opportunity, or whether they are past the window of opportunity and they have in the window of no return. They passed this point of no return. But if you are just, for example, you're coming to me and you are just diagnosed, you didn't have any radiation or chemotherapy, or even if you didn't have a surgery yet, and you're coming to me just after the diagnosis, you're going to be great. You're going to be great. If you're going to learn the right things, you're going to work with nutrition, you're going to work with breathing, you're going to measure, and the measurements will gonna, during the first 2 weeks or 3 weeks or a month, will going to show a small change. That's a home run. That's great. We're going to do it. I know it from the experience. It's not something that I hope, something that I know. If you're going to do the change, and if we can see it in the graphs that your breathing is better, we can see in the graphs for blood work that you are reaching JKI, is glucose to ketone index of 1, and you are there, and you're stable glucose, and you're stable ketones, and you're having more energy, we won. We just keep on working. And then when the tumor is gone, we want to go further into the what we call management. We can start being a little bit freer. Okay, and this is not rocket science, but it's a plan, and you have to follow a plan, and you have to know something about physiology, and you have to know why you are doing those things, and you have to have this little dragon in your head, but it's there already if you are diagnosed. And then you have to have another little dragon in form of your husband or your wife that is sitting there and pushing you and nudging you. Then you have to have another little dragon, which is in form of me. Is going to be in your Q&A every single day, pushing and nudging and answering your questions and helping you to adjust the regimen, adjust your training, answering all your questions, helping you with all of your challenges. So that's basically a little team of dragons you have serving your restoration of your health. That's good news, isn't it? So that's it, guys. And again, if you need a time to talk with me, I have a conference call. I'm giving a free conference call. You can connect, and this is just posted in the chat. Book a 30 minutes call with me. I'll be there for you to talk about your situation. And and if you are, if you know that that you would like to join, then go into Sakharov.com and go into under the boot camps, and just push enroll. And the enroll, it's here. That's the enroll button. Okay, and we are starting every week. Basically, we're starting tomorrow morning. And that's gonna great. It is great. It is great. And look, I just want to tell you that I'm so happy. We have families from Canada, from US, from Scotland, several 2 families from Scotland, from Belgium, from Denmark, and we work in groups, one for adults, one for the families, and one for the families with children that are diagnosed very different brain tumors, GBM, GIPG, astrocytoma, medulloblastoma. And we cooperate through the closed Facebook community group. We have a great vibe working together in our boot camp. And people are also start communicating, helping each other from those different groups, the adults and children. We are now releasing, next week, we are releasing a searchable database for Q&A. And this is really groundbreaking. It's truly groundbreaking, because every Q&A, we have one Q&A for adults every day, 1 hour, and one Q&A for children afterwards, Q&A, 1 hour. And all of those Q&As, they are recorded, they are time tagged. And then we are making buttons, time tags, that lead directly to the time tags, to the answering every single question, like 10 questions answering in 1 hour, 10 time tags. And all people that are coming into our bootcamp from the start, they have a biggest database that can help them go in and very, very fast answer all the questions. This is so great. It's really groundbreaking. I was, when I working with as an engineer and project manager, I've been working a lot. I really wanted to implement the systems for knowledge sharing, and there were never time for this in the industry, in the telecommunication industry. I was working for Ministry of Finance in Denmark. I was working with different consulting groups, consultancies, and I was working for different telecommunication providers, every time we make the same mistakes with the same contracts. And now we are implementing this system. Wow, I feel really that I'm working as an engineer right now, a real engineer, engineering health for people, letting them understand how we can build a very, very strong process and not allowing ourselves to fall off the wagon. Yeah. Oh, Kathy, I'm very, very happy. And I'm happy we had a very good talk today with your husband and your son. I really hope you start tomorrow also, maybe. So I look forward so much. And it was very good to hear, you're right, it was very good to hear her story and see how a support person's role in beginning, middle, end. And to hear her say, this serious disease takes so much mental time. I felt understood. Oh, my dear, it does. Yeah. It does. But you will get a lot of support. And that's why I'm here. I'm here to support you, all of you, the families, to answer all the questions. So I really want you to succeed. That's my life purpose. That's really my life purpose. That's what you, me and Karsten, we're working for. Karsten, if you want to tell something, then please write, and you will you can tell a couple of words. Yeah, and I see we have some people from Denmark also. We have Ernst and Sebastian. Fantastic, guys. Thank you for joining. And Marion and Jim are also on our course. Wow, that's great. We have several people from our course. Okay, then we have a new question here. I'm doing this process together with my partner who has glioblastoma. Just a second. I'm start answering. I'm doing this process together with my partner who has GBM, glioblastoma. Can you say something about your protocol in relation to normal, healthy people? Is there any danger in doing the strict diet, for instance, for a healthy person? Shouldn't he do less strict, or is that no problem? That's a very good question, Jacob. Thank you for asking. Thank you, my dear. No, look, I'm a normal, healthy person, and my uh, girlfriend, I'm 52. My girlfriend is 43, and her daughter is 12, and we are all doing the same. And I know people that has been on this eating like this for 20 years. I'm into different groups online, but you see, the biggest mistake people do, it's that when they think it's the high protein diet, and when they do this, they have health problems. This is not high protein diet, and I will tell you how to do it very, very easy. And another thing, it's something about this high fat diet. It's not high protein diet, and it's very, very easy. It's not like you have to eat fat all the time. No, 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 no. Very, very thin slices, and I will tell you how to do it. It's very, very easy. It's exactly how I am eating every day, and I have very high levels of energy. I sleep only 5 hours, and you see, I am healthy. I'm strong, and I eat much smaller portions than before. So I ingest I actually absorb all the vitamins that I have, all the micronutrients, and all the everything. I absorb much better. That's what happened. When you stop your inflammation by this, it's like very, very nice feedback loop. We call it actually a negative feedback loop, which is positive. In engineering, it's a little bit, when you go back, we go away from chaos. It's called a negative feedback loop. It's like you have a possibility to put on the brakes all the time. You have possibility to actually control the process. A negative feedback loop is when you you are in a car and you are driving down from the mountain and your brakes don't work. It's called a positive feedback loop that is actually killing you, and it's pushing you towards chaos, the destruction. And this is doing a negative feedback loop in the way that you get better health, and you digest. You have a very smaller portions. Your environmental imprint is smaller, much smaller, because you basically get in. It's gonna be. We call it energy quotient. Meaning, if your energy quotient, the energy you get in and the energy output you get out is very, very close to each other. So the spill is very little. That's a high efficiency. That's what we are doing. Very, very high efficiency, metabolic efficiency. And then you get also very high level of metabolic flexibility afterwards. You will also be able to eat carbohydrates, not a problem at all. I can eat carbohydrates, I can eat whatever. I will have no rushes, no autoimmune reactions, nothing. And that's what people also, when they stop inflammation in the gut, they will be able to eat everything. What we are doing now, or when you are going to visit your friends or whatever, you're gonna basically eat what they are cooking. You will not be pushed. You will not have to say, "Oh, I'm only eat meat." No. Eat what they serve. That's my idea with life. We want to enjoy life. We want to make other people happy. We want to also enjoy different kinds of foods. It's only what you do every day in order to sustain your health. You will learn what is crucial for you. It's to sustain the health. That's the most crucial thing, because if you can sustain your health on a good level, you can do whatever you want in your life. And that's what I'm doing. Because you see, I'm having this, I want this. This is my life purpose. I'm working like 26 hours a day, but I also play piano, I also play guitar, I also play drums, I also play double bass. That's my life. I love it. It gives me energy to give you energy. And you are giving me energy on the question and answer sessions. Every time I do this intensive work every day, I love it. I get energy from this. Okay? So yes, it's not dangerous. It's not strict diet. It's a lifestyle. Look, it's not diet, Jacob. It's lifestyle. And you will understand this already after 2 months, 1 month maybe. You will get a great energy when you go through adaptation period. It's very crucial to understand. We have 4 stages of adaptation for athletes and 3 stages of adaptation for normal people. And the 3rd stage take about 1.5 year. Okay? Well, not a long time. Okay? So I'm done answering this one. Then we have another question. Kathy. Oh, and one more. Wow, fantastic. Well, if someone, that's from Kathy, if someone starts your keto, will there always be keto flu? Look, that's a very good question. Not always. Look, the first time, for many years ago, I started, I didn't have any keto flu. But then I fell off the wagon for a week. And then I had keto flu. Then I had keto flu. I was so sick. I thought I had flu. I thought I have virus or something, but there were no temperature. There's no fever. And then it was 1.5 day, and it's disappeared like that. Next morning, I got up. I was fresh. I had a lot of energy. It was like crazy. It was like a transformation. But yes, it can be pretty severe, keto flu. And you have to be, and I teach people actually being aware about this. You have to be aware, because when you have lots of toxins in your body, for example, or you've been eating wrong things all of your life, or you are a little bit obese, or maybe not obese, but a little bit, or diabetes, you have a pre-diabetes, which is not a pre-diabetes, it's diabetes. It's just beginning diabetes. Then diabetes 2, then we can reverse diabetes. We can reverse all the bouquet of the symptoms by letting the organism doing the work. We don't need supplementations. We don't need medications. We only need education. Education instead of medication. And then help, pushing, nudging, helping, adjusting, accepting fluctuations, accepting instability in the start. Radical acceptance, that's what we're going to work with too. So yes, there will be, in many situations, will be keto flu, and people can get dizzy, can get not vomit, but they can have this, unwell very much, headaches sometimes, but flu, yeah, it's like flu, but it goes away. Takes maximum 3 day to a week. Okay, never seen a week. I saw maximum 4 days. Next one from Marion and Jim. Jim and I have just started this as he has a glioblastoma, and my son made a comment today about cholesterol, about eating high fat. But I would like to say that my husband was very ill as we were eating far too much protein. And Misha is re-educating us. And I can only say it's a change in lifestyle we are looking at. Fantastic. Yes. Yeah. And you are on our course, or on our, that's the 2nd week. And Marion and Jim, and you're doing it together. And you are beautiful couple. I love working with you. And also we are reversing type 1 diabetes at the same time, and it's not an easy task, and we have to comply, and there's a lot of fear with diabetes 1, with blood levels, with ketone levels, but we are managing it really, really good. You are good guys. You are really great. And cholesterol. Yes, cholesterol is fantastic. There's nothing called bad cholesterol. We need both types of cholesterol, basically. That's it's pretty fantastic that they are high. What we need low is triglycerides, and I'm educating you on all of those stuff. And the only atherogenic cholesterol, that's is what we call remnant cholesterol. It's very low density lipoprotein, VLDL, and IDL also. Those are remnant cholesterols, and they have to be low. And when the people are complying after 1 month, and they're doing a lipid panel with triglycerides, and it's perfect. We have a very high HDL. We have a normal level of LDL, not too low, not too low. The normal level of LDL, moderate. Then we have very, very low triglycerides, and then we have a very, very low remnant cholesterol, which is fantastic. And that's how the body is reacting. Body is fantastic. It is reacting with readjusting everything, and then it starts burning fats, having good energy, and when the lipid profile is so fantastic, but when we take triglycerides and the ratio of triglycerides to HDL, and when it's for all of my clients, it got under 1, and for most of them, it's got to 0.3, which is like super health. It means that your atherogenic profile is perfect. There's no risk. If your ratio of triglycerides to HDL is lower than 1, and my clients, they are very often 0.3, 0.4, it cannot be better. Okay. And yeah, so yeah, that's fantastic. Guys, I'm very happy to serve you. I'm very happy to inspire you, and I'll be there with our free webinars. And that's not only about brain tumors, which I want people onto our program. I want people there. I want to help people reverse their very aggressive tumors, because I know they are not terminators. They are only terminators when they are handled by conventional medicine with conventional invasive techniques, but because they are looking at the symptoms of the disease, they're trying to kill the disease, and we are not killing the disease because it's stupid to kill the messenger. It's really stupid, and I have no other word for that. It's stupid to kill the messenger. We are communicating with messenger. Messenger is our own body. Cancer is a part of it. It's some cells that are trying to survive, basically. And we are saying to those cells, we understand the message. Now we're changing the environment, and you are going to go. And we don't need cancer. We understand the message. And then we make the good environment for good cells. So the good cells don't mutate anymore. So they have a good respirational rate of respiration in the mitochondria. So the mitochondria don't break, don't mutate. We'll look at breathing, we'll look at nutrition, we'll look at physical movement, moderate physical movement. We'll look at the immunity, so we don't trigger autoimmunity. We'll look at the mental part, very much, work a lot with the mental part. We'll work with the process, and the part of the process is what do we fill our day with? How do we plan our training? How do we plan our eating patterns? How do we plan our sleeping patterns? How do we put all of those things in a bigger perspective and understand it to create a synergetic effect? So it's not counter-working, it's co-working, cooperation. That's what we want. And guys, if you have any questions, please tell me. And now it's exactly 1 hour and 30 minutes. What do you say? This is great. And if you don't have any questions, if anybody want to, if anybody wants to be invited on screen and tell something, inspire others, please do that. Write down write it in the, and I will write it in the chat line. Say, please invite me on screen. I will do this. And then the last question I can see. That's from Sharek. I have signed up to 50 weeks course. Will I be able to learn fast enough on the course, or should I get a boot camp? Sharek, look, you did the 50 weeks course. Okay, yeah, 50 weeks course is it depends what kind of problem you have. We have a special boot camp. Well, it's not. We have what we call intensive course, 6 weeks course, that if you don't have cancer, and if you have cancer, you need to go get on the boot camp, which is called this DIPG boot camp. Okay, we have also a person there with the breast cancer. Also, we're helping her with metastatic brain cancer, and yeah, she's going to be helped too. So, Sharek, please, if you want any questions, please, guys, take this one. It's a free conference call. Take the 30 minutes. We talk to each other, and we do the best thing. I'll put you, and I'll give you money back if you already paid and signed up. I will give you money back, so you will pay another thing. I will just pay the difference. Okay, if you need that. Okay, yes. The 50 weeks course is kind of we're not really doing it. We're doing these 26 the 6 months courses. Please connect with me, Sharek, and thank you for joining us today. Okay, guys, please, you have all of those links here, and I'm gonna be here again to inspire you. Also, if you are on our course, on our boot camp, yeah, please invite your people, people you know, to these free webinars, because here there will be a yeah, it's each Sunday evening, and I'm right now. Afterwards, I will try to free up my weekend a little bit, because I'm working every day too much, and maybe I will take it during the week. I'm just trying to do it now, because then on the Sunday, then we can, both people from United States, from North America, and from Europe, they can attend in Sunday. And I really, yeah, I want to do it on every day, and do from Monday to Friday, maybe. But right now it's planned on Sunday evening, and if it will be any kind of changes, all of you guys, you are connected to me, to this 128 people here are registered to this webinar, and everybody will get the message. So not a problem. So guys, I'm so happy. Thank you, Eric. I enjoyed this so much. Marian, Jim, Sharek, Jacob, and Karen, Eric, Vera. And Vera, wow, good to see you, my dear. It was great talking to you yesterday. Kathy, it was great talking to you today. And Sebastian, I'm very happy to see you here also. You are also on the course. It's basically fantastic. On our course for we call it Power of Moderation, for people that really want to learn my system but are not in bad health. So they have good health, but they just want to get better health and understand. Sebastian is on this course. It's also 6 months, but it's for healthy people. Ernst, thank you very much. You're also one-to-one. And Carsten, my partner. Thank you, Sebastian. Okay, guys, love you so much. Thank you for joining. I'm so happy working with you. inspiring you. Have a very nice rest of the weekend. In North America, you have some many hours, and we here in Europe, we are about to go to sleep. It's 9:30 p.m. here in Denmark and in Belgium. Okay, guys, love you. Thank you very much. Contact me, please. Book this free call if you need to talk to me. See you maybe next Sunday, maybe already tomorrow.